So what if I told you self-discipline is actually the ultimate form of self-respect? And no, I'm not talking about forcing yourself to do something, because we're not going to want to do something we're forced into, or punishing yourself, because it's not about that. It's about trusting yourself. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, and how to actually build self-discipline and create habits that are going to stick and that are going to ultimately help you transform your life. So if you're anything like me and you always say that you're going to start something Monday, but then end up either putting it off, not ever doing it, or it kind of fizzles out over time, then this video is for you. And this can be in any aspect of your life. This can be in your career growth. This can be in your personal growth, or maybe even your fitness journey. And I'm going to help you kind of break that down. So first, we're going to kind of talk about the mindset shift that I want you to form. And instead of thinking self-discipline as a form of punishment, think of it as self-respect, like we talked about. When you follow through with any commitment, that builds trust, and that makes you gain trust in yourself. And kind of have to think of it as your best friend. If they tell you they're going to constantly show up for you, constantly be at everything for you, and then they go around and don't do that, that shows that you're probably not going to trust them, right? So I want to go through a couple key takeaways. And the first one being, every time you go through with a commitment, that forms confidence. And it doesn't have to be massive commitments. It can be something small, like, hey, I wrote in my journal. I wrote a sentence in my journal today, and I told myself I was going to do it, and I did it. And that builds confidence in yourself. And the second takeaway is, I think discipline has a bad rep of being something negative or a punishment, or it's about being hard on yourself. But it's actually about helping your future self. Think about your future self when you're in those tough situations where you really don't want to wake up and go to the gym, or you really don't want to do your timesheet at work, but your future self is going to thank you for it. Number 2, consistency over perfection. And one example of this is when people first start working out. They think they have to be absolutely perfect. And let me tell you, nobody was perfect when they first started working out. Nobody. It's a learning process, and you're not going to be perfect at it. Skipping the gym once is fine. It's fine, because you're not perfect. And you don't want to burn yourself out, like I said, by forcing yourself to do something. And the goal really isn't to be perfect. It's to keep showing up for yourself, and to shift your mindset from I have to do everything perfect to what's one thing that I can get done today. Number 3, long-term thinking versus instant gratification. Every decision you make affects your future self, and discipline is really about choosing long-term success over short-term comfort. A couple examples of this can be when you skip a workout, or when you're scrolling on TikTok. In the moment, it feels fine, it feels good, and I'm not saying you can't do it, but in the long run, what could have you been doing? You could have gone to your workout, and afterward, you're gonna feel better. Or you could have, instead of scrolling, you could have been writing your to-do list for tomorrow. And you kind of just have to replace things you think are easy in the moment with what's going to actually help you form success in the future. Number 4, my favorite. Follow your plan, not your mood. If you let your mood dictate your actions, you will not be consistent. Because if you look at the most successful people, they don't rely on feelings, they rely on systems and plans. And I know from personal experience that your mood can affect what you do in a day. And I've learned that by creating a plan or having a to-do list, or as simple as writing one thing down that I want to get accomplished today, it has helped me. And I might not always be in the best mood, and I might not always want to do it, but it is on my to-do list and it is my plan for the day. So I am going to do it. And that shows that your mood is not going to dictate what you get done in a day. And with that being said, showing up at 50% is better than showing up with 0% and not putting any effort into it at all. So that is going to help you build the consistency and stay disciplined. Number 5, emotional resistance and how self-discipline builds it. And I know I've talked about how I build plans or I have to-do lists, but self-discipline isn't just about building habits. It's about being mentally resilient. And in order to do that, you have to push through when you don't want to do something, because that's what's going to make you stronger mentally. And so when you don't want to go to that workout or you don't want to write in your journal, instead, you're going to push through and you're going to go and do it, because afterward, you're going to feel amazing. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to record this video today, but I know after I record this video that I'm going to feel a sense of accomplishment and a sense of, I did do this. I did this when I didn't want to do this, and that makes you mentally stronger. And now we're going to talk about some strategies to help you build self-discipline. The first one is start small and build trust, which is tiny wins that create momentum. So if you're someone who struggles with consistency, try doing micro habits. So instead of working out for a whole hour or committing to a whole hour, instead do maybe 15 or 30 minutes. Or another example, if you want to start eating healthier, instead of completely changing your whole diet, start with one good meal, one healthy meal each day. And these small wins help you build trust in yourself and prove that you can follow through. Second is setting clear boundaries. This is going to help protect your focus from distractions. So this also means you might have to say no to things that are going to take away and drain your time and energy, which means you might have to set a screen time or decluttering your desk to optimize productivity. And really the rule is to treat your personal growth and goals with the same respect you would as work deadlines. Third is using positive reinforcement by rewarding yourself in a way that aligns with your goals. So this can be as simple as maybe checking off a task on your to-do list, or taking yourself to coffee after you finish a big project, or even taking a break after you finish a bunch of work. And really the key of this is to reinforce your discipline through a reward that isn't going to actually sabotage your progress. Number 4, practicing mindfulness. The next time you want to make an impulsive choice, or maybe procrastinate something, or even maybe quit, stop, pause, take a deep breath, and then think about how it's going to affect the future you and what's going to be best for you in the long run. Learning to pause in between your impulse and action helps build self-awareness, and it strengthens your discipline. Fifth is tracking your progress. Seeing growth keeps you motivated, whether this be through maybe a habit tracker or a journal, or it can be as simple as writing maybe 2 or 3 wins down that you had each day. And just by visualizing and seeing it written down, it helps you stay motivated and it gives you evidence of improvement. And finally, the 6th strategy, which is having an accountability buddy or an accountability system. And you have to have something in order to help you stay accountable. And this can be as simple as having a friend who checks in on you, or maybe even a mentor who helps you through the whole process. And if you want to take it a step further, you can post it publicly. And this is going to help you meet your goals, and you're gonna be more likely to show up for yourself. So now that you know how self-discipline works and you have a few strategies to help build self-discipline, I want you to go and do it, because knowledge without action means nothing. Also, I would love to know one goal or one self-discipline habit that you're working on, so make sure to drop it down below. See you next time.